All right, this is problem number 1 from section 1-2. And the question is, are these in echelon form, reduced echelon form, or neither? So you have to start with number or part A. Now, first of all, in order to be in either form, all of the rows containing only zeros have to be at the very bottom. So notice in part C here, this third row consists of only zeros, but it's not at the very bottom. Every row that doesn't contain all zeros can't be below a row that contains only zeros. So this one is actually an easy one. This one is neither echelon form nor reduced echelon form. Because all of the zero rows have to be at the very bottom. Okay, now take a look at this one. In order for it to be in either reduced echelon form or echelon form, the first non-zero entry in every row has to be to the right of the first non-zero entry in the row above it. So notice this is the first non-zero entry in row number 2. That is to the right of the first non-zero entry in row number 1. So far, so good. This is the first non-zero entry in row 3, and that is to the right of this one. This is the first non-zero entry in row 4, and that is to the right of the 2, so that's okay. Now, the other condition that you have to satisfy for echelon form is that all of the entries below the first non-zero entry in a column have to be zeros, and that looks good here. Notice that 5 is the first non-zero entry in row 2, and it only contains zeros below it, so that's okay. This is the first non-zero entry in row 3. It only contains zeros below it, so that's okay too. So it looks like at the very least this thing is in echelon form. Notice, by the way, it doesn't have any rows containing only zeros. But is it in reduced echelon form? And the answer is no, only because to be in reduced echelon form, the first non-zero entries have to be ones. So this is the first non-zero entry in row 2. It's not a 1. So it is not in reduced echelon form. It's just in echelon form. Okay. Now this one, I believe, is in reduced echelon form because notice that the only row containing only zeros is at the very bottom, so that's good. That has to be true for echelon form and also reduced echelon form. This is the first non-zero entry in row 2. It's to the right of the first non-zero entry in row 1, so that checks out. This one only contains zeros below it. This one only contains zeros below it, so that checks out. But it is in reduced echelon form because not only are there only zeros below this one, there are only zeros above that one also. So all the leading entries have to be 1, but the extra condition for reduced echelon form is that in that column, you can only have zeros except for that leading number being a 1. So this one is in reduced echelon form. So you might have to look at the PowerPoints just to get the definitions down, but that one is in reduced echelon form.